अरुणां करुणातरङ्गताक्षी धृतपाशाङ्कुश पुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानी.
Namaste. So this begins the auspicious introduction to Śrī Lalitā Sahasranāmam, the 1,000 names of Goddess Lalita, the most beautiful and powerful prayer. In the opening, you heard, Arunang karunatar angatakshin dritapashangusha pushpabana chapang animadibhir avritang mayukahai ahang ityeva vibhavaye bhavani. I meditate on Bhavani, Ambal, the supreme happiness, whose color is like the sun at dawn, in other words, red, and from whom rays of light are emanating. Her compassion for her devotees comes out of her eyes like waves of the ocean. She has 4 hands. In the rear hands, she holds 2 weapons, Pasham, lasso, and Ankusha, elephant goad. In the front hands, she holds a bow made of sugarcane and arrows made of flowers. I meditate on her form called Bhavani, the state of supreme happiness with beams of light. So this is this is called the dhyanam. Before every stotram or prayer, there is a verse that defines the object of meditation. And this is called the Dhyanam Shloka. You'll find it in every Sahasranam or in every major prayer. So this practice is to focus our minds on Devi, Shakti, the goddess, in her most auspicious form. What does auspicious mean? It means it gives good results in the future. There are 2 kinds of happiness. Immediate happiness and extended happiness. Happiness that we get right now and happiness that we pile up for the future. So this kind of prayers, either hearing or reciting, give us happiness in the future. It's called shreyas. Shreyas. Whereas immediate happiness is called prayas, and which comes our English word pray. God, I want this right now. But God is not our order supplier. He's not our servant. God is more like the controller, that which manifests. So any manifestation takes some time. Try to understand. It's not that you can pray for something and get it right away. That's not how it works. Unless, of course, you're praying for a particular state of mind. But even in that case, it takes some time to adjust everything. So really we should be interested in shreyas, eventual happiness, future happiness, happiness in the next birth even. So these prayers don't give immediate results, but they very quickly give results. I have to say, from my own personal experience, from doing prayers like the Saundarya Lahari, the Mahalakshmi Stotram and this Lalita Sahasranam, that they don't give immediate happiness, they don't give immediate benefit, although they're very beautiful. Really how they work is they cleanse our minds, okay? You know, if you go to any behavioral therapist and you say, oh, I'm depressed or I'm anxious or whatever, he'll say, well, don't think bad thoughts about yourself. Think good thoughts. Try to fill your mind up with positive energy. So the same thing is true of these Sahasranams, but they're not only positive, they're transcendental because of the ontological position of Shakti, which we have outlined in another series, Ontology of Shakti. So we should therefore regularly hear and recite these prayers, these stotrams, as they're called. And we should also appreciate their meaning. Although Sanskrit has power all by itself, just the sound vibration has power, it's more powerful if we also understand the meanings. So gradually we're going to be going through these 1,000 names of Shakti and giving the meaning. It may take some time, huh? Well, it keeps me off the streets, you know what I mean? So, what does this mean? Lalita Sahasranam. Lalita means playful, sporting, beautiful, graceful, and charming. And in general, these are feminine attributes. So Lalita can also mean a woman, a vivacious and charming woman, very talented and intelligent woman. So she's beautiful, playful, and very powerful. And Sahasra means 1,000. So Sahasranamam means 1,000 names. So there are many Sahasranamams. If you look through the Sanskrit literature, almost every deity that you can imagine has 1,000 names somewhere. But this Lalita Sahasranamam is very, very ancient. Maybe it's the first 1,000 names, who knows? It's from the Brahmanda Puranam. So, who is Lalita exactly? Well, she's called the Vimarsha Rupa. The Vimarsha Rupa of Shivam. Vimarsha means the manifestation, whereas Shiva himself is called the Prakasha Rupa. Prakasha Rupa means the direct form. So Shiva himself is very passive. He doesn't do anything by himself. But in his Vimarsha aspect, in his aspect as Shakti, Shiva performs all kinds of actions, including the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe. So she is really the manifestation. She is the world. She is Maya, Mahamaya. We'll explain this in a minute. So she's often called the controller, Ishwari. You'll hear in these names, many of them end with Ishwari or Rupini, the form or the controller. And she controls basically the whole universe. So therefore, one of her names is Prakasha Vimarsha Mahamaya Swarupini. She is the form of Shiva. She is the form of the goddess. She is Mahamaya. She is the great power of illusion that manifests this whole universe. This whole universe is but an appearance in Brahman. It's not real. It's like a TV show, you know? You sit on your couch eating popcorn and watching the TV, right? So that's like Shiva. Shiva is inactive. He doesn't do anything. He simply enjoys watching all of this activity, which is manifested by Shakti. So this is the fundamental duality of existence, Shiva and Shakti. But actually it's no duality because Shiva and Shakti are one, just two aspects of the same transcendental being. This is very difficult to understand. But once you realize it, this opens up the key to bliss and happiness. So this is a very rich tradition, this Shakti tradition, going back many thousands of years, even before the Puranas, back to the original Vedas and Upanishads. And we find that it has become, in recent years, it has become very religious. And we discussed this in an earlier series, that this is called the Samana branch of the Sri Vidya. But there's also the Kaula branch, which is a lot more wild. And I happen to prefer it myself. But in the end, they're both important. And so we should learn both sides. So let's see. Lalita Sahasranam finds its origin in the Brahmanda Puranam. Brahmanda Puranam is one of the ancient, the 18 most ancient Puranas, composed by Vyasa. So Vyasa is also considered an incarnation of Vishnu, God. And in his Brahmanda Purana, he recounts a conversation between Hayagriva, an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. You'll often see him, he has a horse's head. This is Hayagriva. But even Hayagriva is not the original author of Lalita Sahasranam. He rather narrated it to Agastya rishi, and who are named, the month of August is named after, Agastya. And the actual origin of the Sahasranam is the 8 vaak devis, or Vyakinati vaak devis. What are vaak devis? Well, vaak means speech. And so these devis, or Shaktis, which are sub-energies of Lalita Shakti, the original Shakti, they composed this Sahasranam at her order. And they pleased her with it and got all kinds of benedictions and powers because of it. So that was composed in the very presence of the Shakti herself. Now, in most Sahasranams, they reuse some of the names. Like in Vishnu Sahasranam, the name Vishnu is used, I think, several times, 4 or 5 times. But because of the context, it has different meanings. Every Sanskrit word has several different meanings, so there's no problem with that. But a unique feature of the Lalita Sahasranam is that every name is used only once. There's no recurrence of names. Although some words are reused, they're used in a different way and in a completely different context. So it's a real masterpiece. It's a really wonderful and unique prayer, even amongst the Sanskrit prayers, the Sahasranams. So Shakti was born from fire. This is very meaningful. She's not born from a womb. She's born from the element fire, which is light, the element of light. So she is light. She is consciousness. She illuminates the various objects of consciousness. And she also is those objects by means of her power of Maya. So in other words, she is the whole universe, the whole manifestation, and everything that we perceive. Try to understand this. So if we please her, then our life becomes very wonderful. It's really an amazing thing. And I invite you to experience it. By the way, I've linked to the complete Lalita Sahasranam in the video description. And you should go listen to that. It's downloadable. So you can download it to your computer, the whole video. and listen to it, or your phone, if you have the YouTube app, and listen to it anytime you want. It's very, very wonderful. And gradually, as we go through these names and learn their meanings, it will become more and more powerful and meaningful to you. So, the form of Lalita that we are worshiping in this prayer is called Lalithambigai. And this form is also called Maha Kameshwari. Kama is desire. Maha is great. And Ishwari is controller. So she is the form or the controller of the great desire. And what is that? To become many. God said, I am one. Let me become many. This is given in the Upanishads. So she is that primal desire, kama, and all desire. So when we have a desire for something, we should understand this is coming from Kameshwari. This is under the control of Kameshwari. So she can give us desires, and then we get into all kinds of trouble. Or she can take away those desires and leave us pure and open. And this is the aim. This is one of the results of chanting this Sahasranam. So, in the beginning, the first name is Śrī Mata, the mother of the universe. And at the end, the 999th name is Shiva Shakti Ikyarupini, which means her form is the combination of Shiva and Shakti. Actually, Shiva has no form, no activities, not even consciousness, simply pure objectless awareness. She is the form of Shiva. She is the consciousness by which he perceives the world. And she is that world and all its phenomena. So Shakti is extremely powerful. And the 1000th nama addresses her as Lalithambigai. The meaning of Lalithambigai is what we discussed, that she is everything. And she is the force behind the creation. So the last name is also her absolute form. She is the absolute in form, whereas Shiva is the formless absolute, Brahman. So try to understand. The absolute has two aspects, formless and with form. Nirguna, without qualities, and guna, saguna, with qualities. So both are absolute. It is not that this material world is not part of God. It is part of God. And all the manifestations and phenomena in it. So it's not that we are fighting against Maya, as the dualists like to propose. We're fighting a war with Maya, trying to realize God. No. But in devotion, we are loving our mother, Maya. Yes, it's an illusion. Why is it an illusion? Only because the appearance of duality is false. There is no duality. There is only the absolute. Only God exists. And this is a wonderful thing. When we realize it, we attain complete self-realization. And that is the ultimate benefit of this prayer. Aum Tat Sat. Aum Harihi Aum.